The cold metal floor of the prison ship echoed with every step. Bright alien lights flashed on the ceiling. Two tall guards, both reptilian species, dragged a weak-looking human woman through the hallway. Her hands were bound in glowing energy, cuffs. Her clothes were torn. Her face was bruised, but her eyes were calm. Too calm. She doesn't look dangerous, one guard laughed. She was found in a restricted zone, said the other. Council says she's a spy. They shoved her into a small glass cell. The door hissed shut. Thick walls of force fields surrounded her. No one had ever escaped this prison before. Inside the observation room, a group of high-ranking aliens watched her. Species from across the galaxy, insectoids, reptilians, crystalloids, all part of the Galactic Council. They had ruled the stars for thousands of years. They feared no one, especially not a single human woman. Begin the scan, ordered a tall alien commander. A red beam passed over the woman's body. Her vitals were strange. Low heart rate, but no sign of fear. Her blood pressure was steady. She didn't even blink. She's hiding something, said the science officer. No, records in our database, said another. No name, no planet of origin. It's like she doesn't exist. In her cell, the woman sat on the floor cross-legged. She closed her eyes. Her breathing was slow, controlled. A young alien soldier approached the cell. He knocked on the force field, trying to mock her. Hey, human. What's your name? You can't scare us. She opened one eye and looked at him. I don't need to scare you, she said softly. Your fear will come on its own. The soldier laughed and walked away. But that night, he never returned to his post. The next day, another guard went missing. Security cameras were checked. There was nothing. No noise. No footage. Just gone. The council grew nervous. They sent a psychic alien to probe her mind. As he stood near the cell, reading her energy, he suddenly screamed, grabbed his head, and collapsed. His brain had fried, from the inside. How did she do that? One alien shouted. She's just a human. But the truth was, no one really knew what she was. Inside the cell, she stood up slowly. Her eyes now glowed faint blue. The energy cuffs began to flicker. Something inside her was awakening. Back in the control room, alarms started ringing. The power in Section 7 was failing. Lights shut off. Doors unlocked on their own. Emergency systems failed. What is happening? The commander shouted. She's doing something. Shut down her cell. But it was too late. The lights inside the glass cell turned red. The force field cracked like glass. The cuffs around her wrists shattered with a sharp pop. The woman took a deep breath and walked out slowly. She didn't run. She didn't scream. She just walked. Guards pointed blasters at her. Stop or we shoot. She looked at them and whispered, Try. They fired. The blasts never reached her. The energy dissolved inches away from her skin. Like the air around her refused to let her be harmed. She raised one hand. Every weapon in the hallway exploded. One guard ran for the alarm, but the door behind him closed and locked on its own. He turned back, and she was already there, standing in front of him. He fell to his knees, shaking. Please, what are you? She leaned down, face calm. I am what your council forgot. I am what your kind fears in their dreams. And I'm awake now. The alien passed out from fear. Alarms rang across the prison ship. The council was in chaos. Ships were prepared. Escape pods launched, but none would escape. Inside the main chamber, one old alien elder opened a forgotten book. His hands shook as he read an ancient word written in human script. Revenant. He looked at the surveillance screen. The woman's face appeared. It's her, he whispered. It's the Revenant. The Galactic Council ship floated in orbit above a dying red star. Inside, the halls were burning with panic. Sirens howled. Security systems failed one by one. And the woman, once chained and silent, was now walking freely through the ship. She wasn't running. She didn't need to. Each step she took made Lights flicker. Metal panels bent near her presence. Some force, old and unknown, was bending reality around her. In the war room, council leaders were shouting. She escaped her cell. How is that possible? She's not in our database. Not even Earth's military files have any match. One alien slammed his fist on the table. We need to know who she is. Now. They called for a mind reader, a rare species known as the Drexari Seers. These beings could look into souls and memories. An old Drexari floated into the chamber, wrapped in silver robes. He nodded, then stepped toward the woman's path. She stood still in a dark hallway, her face calm as always. The Drexari Seer raised his glowing fingers and reached for her mind. Silence. Then, his eyes turned white. He screamed. His body froze. Mid-air, limbs stretched. Then he dropped to the ground like a stone, breathing fast, eyes wide open. I saw her name, he whispered, his voice shaking. It's not possible. It's a name from war legends. The woman stepped past him, slowly, and whispered a word under her breath. Revenant. The word echoed through the corridor. The lights turned blood red. In the war room, silence fell. That name, every council member had heard it, but never spoken it out loud. It was forbidden, ancient. That name was erased after the human uprising. They said the Revenant died during the Great Purge. But if that's her, she shouldn't be alive. She shouldn't even exist. An alien general tried to dismiss the fear. It's just a name. Maybe it's a trick. But the Drexari Seer whispered again, now curled in fear. No. That name lives in every war species' deepest fears. She's not a soldier. She's a ghost. A living ghost. Back in the hallway, the woman found a sealed vault door. Her fingers glowed faintly blue as she touched the metal. The vault unlocked itself. Inside was a room full of alien weapons, laser cannons, plasma grenades, armor suits from every species. But she ignored all of it. She picked up one thing, an old black box with human markings. She opened it. Inside was a sleek, ancient-looking blade, not made of metal, not alien tech. Something older, like it came from Earth's dark past. She gripped the handle. It responded to her touch. The blade lit up with silver energy. On its edge was written the same word, Revenant. Suddenly, all across the ship, an ancient broadcast frequency activated. Not by her doing, but by the weapon. Every monitor on the ship lit up. A voice spoke. This is a warning to the Galactic Council. You have awakened the last memory of Earth's wrath. You captured her, you bound her. Now, she remembers who she is. Council members ran to shut the feed off. It was too late. All over the galaxy, the signal repeated. On black markets, on warships, on peaceful colonies, even on planets Earth hadn't touched in centuries. The legend had returned. The Revenant lived. The warship's medical bay was silent. Too silent. Dozens of alien scientists, wearing protective suits, surrounded a sealed examination chamber. Inside was a clear capsule, and floating within it was a single drop of blood, taken from the human woman the moment she was captured. But something was wrong with it. The blood wasn't red. It was shifting color, glowing faint blue, then silver, then pure black. Instruments couldn't scan it. Needles had melted. Automated analyzers had short-circuited. A nervous insectoid biologist clicked his mandibles. Her DNA, it's not normal, it's layered. Layered? Asked the lead geneticist. She has multiple genetic codes inside her blood. Not mutations, not splices, but encryptions, like passwords written into her cells. One brave scientist decided to override all safeties and scan the blood with an ancient forensic tool used only during the old Earth Wars. The machine blinked once, then again, then screamed. An alert flashed. Biosigil recognized. Project Revenant active. Warning. Human asset classified level Omega. Do not engage. Do not awaken. Do not pursue. The room went dead silent. What is Project Revenant? Someone whispered, but none of them had answers. The last time that name was seen was before Earth was defeated. before the Council erased all human war records, before the Purge. An old archivist alien was rushed in. He had lived through the tail end of the human rebellions, a survivor of the Battle of Black Orbit. When he saw the scan report, he dropped his data pad. "It's true," he gasped. "I saw that symbol, once, burned into the skin of a human. General. He walked through fire and didn't die. That symbol is not just blood, it's an activation mark." They enlarged the microscopic view of the woman's blood. Etched into every cell was a shape, a twisting spiral like a living key. "This is not just a soldier," the archivist whispered. "This is a seed, a human seed made for war, meant to sleep, meant to wake, only when Earth needed vengeance." Meanwhile, across the ship, the woman was changing. In an abandoned chamber, she stared at her reflection. Her pupils had turned silver. Strange lines like tattoos began to glow beneath her skin. She touched her own wrist, and a faint hologram appeared, an Earth symbol once used by a lost Terran empire. Unity through fire. She remembered flashes, explosions, cries, a burning city, a child being pulled from wreckage. Her voice shook as she whispered, "They made me forget." Behind her, a blast door opened. A single guard stood there, aiming his plasma rifle. "You're not going anywhere," he said, voice trembling. She looked at him. "You're right," she replied. "I'm already there." Her body blinked, and in less than a breath she vanished and reappeared behind him. The guard turned, eyes wide. She touched his helmet. It exploded in sparks. He fell instantly. Security footage later showed only static. The footage couldn't record her movement. It was like she had disappeared from reality for a split second. Back in the lab, one scientist whispered what everyone feared. "She's not breaking the laws of physics." Another finished the sentence, voice hollow. "She's rewriting them." The last screen in the lab displayed a final warning left in human code, possibly planted centuries ago, like a time bomb. She is the Revenant. Not born, not made. Triggered. In the deepest level of the Council warship, emergency locks sealed the corridors. Red lights flashed. Alarms screamed through steel walls. Entire sectors were shut down because of one woman. Not a human army. Not a battleship. Just her. Yet the Council moved as if an extinction-level threat had been unleashed. Elite guards in heavy armor took positions outside Sector 9. Drones hovered. Pulse cannons pointed at a single blast door behind which she stood. Still and silent. "Stand ready," the commander shouted. "Do not let her cross this line." Inside, the woman, no longer afraid, no longer hiding, stood calm. The strange symbols glowing beneath her skin now pulsed like a heartbeat. The blade she had taken from the vault floated inches above her palm, humming softly. She closed her eyes and whispered one word: "Awaken." Outside, the lights exploded, the walls cracked. The ship groaned like it was alive and screaming. Without touching it, the door burst outward in a thunderous wave, sending soldiers flying like leaves. Sparks filled the air. Fire bloomed across the corridor. She stepped through the smoke. Slow, steady, unstoppable. One soldier crawled backward, eyes wide. She's not walking. She's drifting. Indeed, her feet didn't fully touch the floor anymore. Gravity bent around her. The pulse cannons fired. Blinding energy bolts tore through the hallway. She raised her hand. The blasts froze in midair. Time itself stopped for them, and then reversed, slamming back into the weapons that fired them. Explosions followed. Screams echoed. Metal tore like paper. She moved with surgical precision, no wasted steps, no mercy. But she didn't kill unless needed. She disabled. She dismantled. She humiliated their pride. A young alien tried to flee through a side door. She appeared there first. "Why are you running?" she asked softly. Please. I don't even know who you are." She looked at him, expression unreadable. "That's the problem," she said. "None of you remembered. Until now." With a small wave of her hand, the door sealed, and the guard collapsed, unconscious but alive. In the war room above, chaos had taken over. She's breaking through every level. Launch the escape pods. We must contact the central worlds. But communications were already down. She had shut them off, remotely. The ship was hers now. In the main engine chamber, she finally reached the core, a massive power structure, stolen from a human colony centuries ago. She touched it and the ship shook. The AI voice echoed through every room. Ship systems realigning. Command authority, revenant. Council access revoked. Panic hit every deck. Meanwhile, in the prison wing, something else was waking. Not just her power, but the forgotten. Hundreds of stasis pods lined the walls. Prisoners, test subjects, silent victims. Some human, some alien. All marked classified. She moved through the chamber and pressed her hand to the main console. One by one, the pods opened. Eyes blinked, hearts restarted, and one human male gasped, "We're alive?" She nodded. Time to remember what they tried to erase. The group stood slowly. Warriors, spies, scientists, each with cybernetic implants, or strange abilities. All had been missing for decades. They looked at her with recognition. "You're the first one," one whispered. "No," she replied, gripping her blade. "I'm just the start." The stars outside the Council warship seemed dimmer now. As if space itself was holding its breath, the ship no longer obeyed the Council. It obeyed her. In the bridge, alien monitors flickered with old Earth symbols, codes not seen in centuries. The woman stood at the center, surrounded by newly awakened prisoners. None questioned her. None dared. But questions burned in every mind. Who was she? How could she do this? Why hadn't time touched her? Back in the Council archives, deep beneath the core planet, a forgotten chamber was forced open. Our research AI, ancient and dusty, was activated for the first time in 300 years. Two elder aliens entered, shivering with dread. They had heard the name. Revenant. "Check all human history," one ordered. Cross-reference with immortality trials. Project Phoenix, forbidden Earth tech, everything. The AI scanned, then it spoke in a low, ancient voice. Subject, Revenant. Status, activated. Age, 417, Earth years. Deaths recorded, 0. Purpose, termination of galactic oppression. Classification, eternal class threat, silence. "She's not just a soldier," whispered the elder. "She was built not to die." The AI continued. Subject contains nano-seeded genome. When killed, her cells reset. When memory is lost, identity restores. When body fails, the code reboots. 1. Alien backed away. "She's not alive. She's timeless." Meanwhile, aboard the stolen Council ship, the woman moved through the old crew quarters. She entered a sealed chamber labeled Unknown Prisoner, Cell X0. Inside, a black pod stood alone. It opened with a hiss. Inside was a mirror. She looked into it and saw herself from another time. Shorter hair, a scar across her neck, military, armor with Earth's lost emblem, a burning tree over starlight. Flashbacks exploded behind her eyes. A battlefield under a blue moon. Human cities turned to ash. Her body, dying, waking in a pod. Again, and again, and again. Each time she fell, the code brought her back. Each memory wiped, each mission restarted. Until now. Now. She remembered everything. She whispered to the mirror, "You never killed me, you only delayed me." Elsewhere, the Council panicked. Messages were sent to the outer colonies warning of her return. Some species tried to deny it, but deep within their legends, children still feared the same old tale. Beware the one who walks through death. Beware the woman who never stays, buried. For when she rises, the galaxy burns. The stories were real. The Revenant had returned, and she wasn't alone anymore. Back in the engine chamber, her freed comrades activated a hidden core drive, human tech, camouflaged inside alien walls. "This ship belonged to Earth long before the Council took it," she said. With a single command, she turned the warship around, not to flee, but to fly straight into the Council's capital. The Galactic Council had ruled for thousands of years. Their flag flew over 100 worlds. Their word was law. Their fleets were unbeatable. Their prisons were unbreakable. Until now. Now they were running, hiding like insects before a coming storm. And that storm was her. The stolen Council warship, now fully under her control, pierced through hyperspace, leaving trails of blue lightning behind. Its AI systems had been rewritten in the language of old Earth. Its core was alive with human fire. At the center stood the woman once called a prisoner, no longer silent, no longer chained. Now, commander of retribution. "We go to the core," she said. Her voice echoed through the ship. "We don't destroy cities. We don't burn planets. We only show them the truth they tried to bury." Across the galaxy, strange signals began to broadcast. Ancient human songs, footage from lost wars, images of Earth's forgotten resistance. Children on alien worlds asked their elders, "Who are these people?" And the elders grew pale. Because they knew, they remembered. Long ago, the Council had fought Earth, not just with weapons, but with fear. They couldn't conquer humans, so they erased them, deleted their stories, turned their survivors into lab experiments, made the universe forget. But now the past was waking, and it wore the face of the woman they had called Revenant. In the Council's main chamber on the capital world, Helion Prime, chaos reigned. Delegates screamed across the halls. "She's coming. This can't be happening. She was erased. How did she survive Project Silence?" Above them, a massive hologram flickered to life. Her face appeared, calm, focused. "I am not here for war," she said. "I am here for memory." One alien screamed, "You can't threaten us, we have 50 fleets." She smiled. "You had 50 fleets." Behind her, the Council warship opened a live feed, showing images of disabled battleships, their crews, unharmed but confused. Human code had shut their systems down without firing a shot. A virus. No, not a virus. A key, her DNA connected to Earth's last signal, was the password, the master override. The final piece of tech the Council never cracked. Because it was never built to be cracked, it was built to return. In the streets of Helion Prime, citizens looked up as their sky turned dark, not from bombs, but from truth. The Revenant ship hovered above them, silent like a god watching, and then dropships landed, but no soldiers came out. Only survivors, humans who had vanished centuries ago. Men and women who had been frozen, hidden, reawakened. They walked forward, hands open. One of them shouted to the alien crowd, "We don't want revenge, we want justice, and we want our story back." Some aliens wept, some dropped their weapons. Some knelt, not from fear, but from shame. Back in the Council chamber, high-ranking officials activated emergency plans. "Terminate the Revenant," one screamed. "Call the Black Protocol," but the system denied them. Request denied. Authority transferred. Command belongs to Revenant. Suddenly, their own walls closed in. From hidden speakers, an old Earth voice played, "You made us ghosts. Now you will live with memory." She appeared in the chamber, not through the doors, but through the center, teleporting with blue light. No army, just her. The Council backed away in terror. She looked at them, all the species that had once ruled. "Earth never wanted to rule," she said. "We only wanted to live. And you made us monsters." One alien cried out, "Then kill us! Get it over with!" She shook her head. "I'm not here to kill you." She raised her hand. "I'm here to wake you." And with that, she activated the final sequence. Every Council database, every school, every news system, all across the galaxy. History began rewriting itself. Earth was restored to the records. The war crimes were unsealed. The truth flooded every world. Helion Prime, the capital of the Galactic Council, was no longer a throne, world. It had become a library of secrets. On every screen, in every hall, in every learning center, truth played on a loop. The lies that ruled for centuries were broken in a single day, and all because of one woman. But no one still dared to say her true name. They called her the Revenant. They called her the Ghost of Earth. They called her the Curse Returned. But she was more than all of that. High above the city, in the command deck of the stolen council warship, the woman stood alone. The stars stretched out before her, cold, quiet, vast. Behind her, hundreds of freed humans were working to restore old Earth tech. Ships, archives, DNA vaults, all scattered and buried by the council, were slowly returning. One young girl, no older than 12, stepped beside her. The girl had never seen Earth. She was born in a prison lab. "Are we going home?" the girl asked. The woman looked at her. "Yes, but not to the place, to the name," the girl frowned. "What name?" The woman turned, her voice soft but unshakable. "Human." Meanwhile, the former council species gathered in secret, not for war, but to understand. They studied her face, her DNA, her history, and in an old vault they found it, her real name, a name erased from every system, not a code name, not a soldier's title, not a weapon. Her birth name, Aliyah Voss, a child born on the last human colony before the final purge. She wasn't created in a lab. She wasn't programmed. She was a girl who died once and was revived by a code her parents hid in her blood. The last gift of Earth scientists, a way to protect humanity's story inside a living vessel, a girl who forgot, a woman who remembered, a name the galaxy learned to fear, not because she destroyed, but because she survived. On the edge of known space, Earth's signal finally returned, not as a warning, but as an invitation. This is Aliyah Voss. Earth lives. We remember who we are, and we are ready to be known again. Across alien worlds, silence followed, and then hope. Because deep inside, even the most powerful species knew. The galaxy was never ruled by war. It was shaped by those who refused to be forgotten.